This is WRAL TV. You're now watching the smartest 30 minutes on television. This is Brain Game. Area high school teams put on their game faces and show what they know. Teams competing today are Broughton High School from Wake County, from Johnston County, Smithfield, Selma High, and Union Pines High from Moore County. Here's your Brain Game host, Mark Roberts.
High five. Way to do it, Ariana. Good job. Good extension, Barrett. All right, Myra. Good job. All right. Well, good Saturday morning, and thank you for joining us for Brain Game round number 6 on WRAL TV. We bill ourselves as the smartest 30 minutes on television. We'll make our case for that claim with the 3 high school teams with us today here in Studio A. Their mission is to answer the most questions and score the most points between now and the end of the show. The most points earns that team a ticket to return in February for the Brain Game playoffs. Make it through those playoffs, and on May the 7th, 2016, they'll be here for the Brain Game Championship. For the schools here this morning, today is that first step in that journey, so let's meet the teams here for round number 6 of Brain Game. First of all, to my left, from Broughton High in the cool shirts, we have Wynn, Anvita, and Myra. Broughton High, everybody. In the middle, also with cool shirts from Union Pines, we have Clayton, Barrett, and Aaron. Union Pines High, everybody. And rounding us out from Triple S, Smithfield Selma High School, we have Christian, Cody, and Ariana. Smithfield Selma, everybody. All right, Triple S, all right. Brain Game Pop-Up Culture this morning deals with true fanatics. In fact, you may be one yourself. Pop music fan clubs provide fodder for our first round of Q&A. I'll name the fan club. Our players ID the celebrity that they're fans of. Teams score 20 points for correct answers. If the first response is wrong, that team loses 20 points. The question becomes a toss-up and can be answered by one of the other teams. Among this morning's fan club idols, one who was on American Idol, a singer who's a friend to animals, and one who might find working uptown again. 10 20-point questions, fans and fan clubs, and don't forget the toss-up players. So crania and gear, everybody. Here we go with pop-up culture fan clubs. First one, you call yourself a glambert. If you follow this, that's Union Pines.
Adam Lambert.
That is right, Barrett. Her love for animals isn't just about her fans. Who? That's Smithfield Selma.
Kesha.
Kesha is right. Yeah, you didn't need all the rest of that data. Way to go, Ariana. Are you a one true believer? You are if you're devoted. That's Union Pines.
Justin Bieber.
The Biebs, yes, just the Canadian pop star. You have it over there. All right. Little Monsters. Not only follow this female vocalist, Broughton High.
Lady Gaga.
That's the one. They can now check in with her weekly on American Horror Story. You are correct. You call yourself a selinator if you're mesmerized by what actress and singer who rose to fame on Wizards of Waverly Place, Broughton High.
Selena Gomez.
That is the one win. On Twitter, they are Team Barb. This is a nod to what wig-wearing singer who calls herself the Harajuku Barbie? That is Smithfield Selma.
Gwen Stefani.
That's a toss-up to Union Pines or Broughton. Anybody on that one? Nicki Minaj, the answer we're looking for there. Members of her Bayhive include more than just single ladies. What? That's Broughton High.
Beyonce.
Beyonce is it. You got it there. You didn't need the next Crazy in Love clue. All right. Inspired by the name of his debut album, fans of what pop and R&B singer call themselves hooligans? Anybody on that? That is fans of Bruno Mars. Next one. Smilers had a lot to be happy about when this favorite pop star, Broughton High.
Miley Cyrus.
That's right, hosted the 2015 MTV Music Awards. And last pop-up culture, fans of what rapper refer to themselves as stans? Hopefully they aren't as obsessed as the character in the song that they're named after. That's Union Pines.
Eminem.
Eminem is the one. Clayton going down the 8 Mile over there. All right, through with pop-up culture. Now, Brain Game Headliners requires that our teams keep up with important news events, people, and locations around the world, across the USA, and right here in North Carolina. Scoring points means staying informed. Questions are worth 20 points each. Get it wrong, the question becomes a toss-up and can't be answered by one of the other teams. Our top stories this morning include one less candidate to consider. U.S. Special Forces are heading there, and the first state going to the polls. These are 10 20-point current events questions with the toss-up in effect. All right, players, here we go with headliners. Lincoln Chafee dropped out of what race? That's Broughton High.
Democratic presidential nomination.
You got it there, Wynn. He was just elected Speaker of the House. Who is this, Broughton?
Paul Ryan.
That is the guy win. All right. Rand Paul called the budget deal. All right. That is Broughton High.
Travesty.
Not bad win, but the rest of the question reads, Rand Paul called the budget deal more money for guns and butter. This GOP presidential candidate is a senator from what state? That's to Union Pines or Triple S over there. That is Union Pines.
Wisconsin.
Sorry, Kentucky, the answer we're looking for. All right, next one. The third GOP presidential debate was hosted by what network in October? Anybody on that one? Union Pines?
CNN.
That's a toss-up. Triple S or Broughton? Broughton's in.
CNBC.
That is the one win. You got the right network. All the presidential candidates campaigned there. What is the first state to hold an electoral event this year on February 1st? That's Broughton.
Iowa.
Iowa is right. President Obama authorized special ops forces to aid local ground troops in the fight against ISIS in what country? Union Pines.
Iraq.
That's a toss-up.
Syria.
Syria is right, Myra. All right. A bomb may have brought down Metrojet Flight 9268, causing it to crash in what country? That's Union Pines.
Egypt.
Egypt is right, Aaron. A new North Carolina law prohibits towns from protecting illegal immigrants or becoming what so-called type of cities? That's Broughton.
Sanctuary cities.
Sanctuary is right, win. What restaurant chain temporarily closed 43 stores due to an, that's
Chipotle.
Broughton.
Chipotle.
Chipotle is right, Myra. E. coli outbreak. And last headliners. Shifting the age and timing for women, the American Cancer Society changed its guidelines for what type of screening? And that's Broughton.
Mammograms.
That is right, Myra. All right, Broughton, checking out the news. All right, coming up, our teams fill in the blanks with a word power crossword puzzle, plus crunching numbers and rocket science. You're watching Brain Game on WRAL TV5. A smart move on your part. Stay with us. Welcome back to Brain Game. This is our 6th round of competition for this season. Our first benchmark hits in February. That's when winning teams start the quarterfinal playoffs that will ultimately lead to the Brain Game Championship on May the 7th. Every game counts. Every score is important. Strong second-place finishers can earn wildcard berths that get them to the playoffs. You can keep up with who's playing and how they did at WRAL.com. Information about the schedule and even past programs are available right there on the website. Search Brain Game and you will find the Brain Game info right there on good old WRAL.com. Well, each correct answer in this morning's Brain Game Word Power Crossword Puzzle shares the same first and last letter. Filling in the blanks will be words that all begin and end with the letter S. There are 10 words, good for 20 points each. Answer incorrectly, your team loses 20, and it turns that clue into a toss-up that can be tried by one of the other teams. 10 words, starting and ending with the letter S, each good for 20 points. Toss up the factor. Let's put the empty grid up on the board for the players. Let's fill it all in now. Again, words that start and end with S. Let's begin number 1 across 9 letters. What word describes a female who performs magic? Mickey was an apprentice to the male version of Union Pines.
Sorceress.
Sorceress is right, Aaron. 2 across, 11 letters. It comes from Greek words meaning flesh eating. What is this box-like structure in which you would find a decomposing mummy? That's Broughton High.
Sarcophagus.
That is right, win, and a good word, isn't it? Yeah. All right, 5 across, 4 letters. You shouldn't do this to your parents. What's another word for back talk? Union Pines.
Sass.
Sass is right. Aaron would never do that. 7 across, 6 letters. What word follows TV or world? It's a noun that means a number of things of a similar kind. Broughton High.
Series.
Series is right, Myra. 8 across, 6 letters. What type of writing tool do people use on touchscreen tablets? That is Union Pines.
Stylus.
Stylus and computers, you got it. All right, next one, we're going down now, players. 1 down, 6 letters. As a noun, it means pressure or tension. As a verb, it means to give particular emphasis to something. Broughton High.
Stress.
Stress is right, Myra. You feel no stress, though. You look very relaxed. All right, 2 down, 7 letters. Why so? This antonym for Broughton High.
Serious.
That's right, Light, you got it. All right, this is 3 down, 10 letters. She could be called a tailor, or you could use this word for, that's Union Pines.
Seamstress.
Seamstress is right, a woman who sews, you have it. 4 down, 6 letters. From the Greek meaning standing still. What is this state of stability in which all forces are equal and opposing? Silence ensues on that one. Anybody chiming in? Stasis. All right, last one. Let's fill it all out. 6 down, 5 letters. You're very aware of this air cavity during allergy season. What is this part of? That is Union Pines.
Sinus.
Sinus is right. Anatomy near the nose. You have it. All right, crossword puzzle looks great, all filled in. Let's move along now to Brain Game Arts and Literature, which gives our teams a chance to show a bit of class each Saturday morning. It's what they can tell us about the great masters, their masterpieces, and the tools and techniques they use to earn our admiration. These are 10 questions worth 20 points each, up or down. Toss-up is in effect. Subjects this morning cover music to get married by. He was into Renaissance selfies, and the Greeks had a word for it. These are 10 20-point questions, and the toss-up applies. So players, let's start off with arts and literature by sitting back and listening to the music. Ah, so deeply cultural. A popular wedding tune. What 17th century Johann Pachelbel piece appears in Zoolander? That's Broughton High.
Pachelbel's Canon.
You got it over there. Wait a second, you provided so much information that's good. All right. He's probably the young man in this Portrait of a Young Man. He also painted himself into the School of Athens. Who is this Renaissance painter? Did a nice job on that one. Anybody on that? That is Raphael. Usually there are 3, but some trumpets have 4 of what device that changes how air moves through that's Union Pine.
Valve.
Valves is right, Clayton. He's the eldest of the Pevensey brother and assumes the throne as High King of Narnia after helping Aslan defeat the White Witch. Who is he? Union Pines.
Peter.
Peter is right, Clayton. He's a busy guy. Coleridge had a dream about what place with a river and a stately pleasure dome built by Kubla Khan. Here, he's a good contractor, that Kubla Khan. Answer we're looking for there is Xanadu. An ingenious means of disposing of a murder weapon is the plot of what Roald Dahl short story? That's Broughton High.
The Telltale Heart.
That's a toss-up, Union Pines or Triple S. Anybody? Lamb to the Slaughter is the one we're looking for. Next one. Great confidence is a sin in Greek theater and is referred to by what name? That's Broughton.
Hubris.
Hubris is right, win. You don't need ESP to know this term for materials an artist uses to create a work like paint or marble. That is Broughton High.
Medium.
Medium is right, Myra. Her novels are My Antonia and O Pioneers describe life in the American Midwest. Who is this author of Death Comes for the Archbishop? I can usually say Archbishop a little better. Anybody on that one? Willa Cather, Last Arts and Lit. He sounds like royalty. What American singer is known for Mona Lisa, the Christmas song, and a posthumous duet with his daughter Natalie? He may not be in your iPod, but you never know. Answer we're looking for there is Nat King Cole. All right, coming up next, we will test our players' knowledge of U.S. presidents when we return, and they'll demonstrate their math and science abilities as well. This is Brain Game on WRAL TV5. We're glad you're watching. If our players have a good working knowledge of U.S. presidents of the 20th century, Brain Game Name Game is a good opportunity to add a lot of points to their scores. Each team gets 5 chief executive clues and 30 seconds to respond to those clues. Score 20 points for correct answers, lose 20 if the answer is wrong. They have the option to pass on a clue and not change their score at all. Get them all, and we'll toss in 20 bonus points for a job well done. That's 120 points each team can add to their score in 30 seconds or less. 20th century presidents of the USA, and there's nothing wrong with your set at home. Wyatt is now in for Broughton. He looks a lot like Wynn, but let's welcome Wyatt to the game, everybody. There we go. All right. Team number 1, your president is Theodore Roosevelt. Here we go with Name Game. the alliterative regiment he led at the Battle of San Juan.
Rough Riders.
Correct. Roosevelt became president after the assassination of this man.
Pass.
His favorite proverb, speak softly and carry a...
Big stick.
That's correct. Award he won for mediating the end of the Russo-Japanese War.
Nobel Peace Prize.
That's the one. A toy named for him.
Teddy bear.
That's right. The pass. Roosevelt became president after the assassination of this man. You can continue to pass. Oh, there's the buzzer. That's McKinley on that. But hey, 4 out of 5 for Broughton. Good job. And Wyatt's in the game already. All right. Union Pines, good long sleevers you guys have. And your president is Harry S. Truman. Here we go with name game. When Japan refused to surrender, he ordered these to be dropped.
Time bombs.
That's right. He entered the U.S. into this war in 1950.
Pass.
Truman became president when this man died.
FDR.
That's right. The Truman Doctrine aimed to stop this communist state from spreading.
Soviet Union.
That's right. Famous incorrect headline declared this man defeats Truman.
Pass.
All right, the pass. He entered the U.S. into this war in 1950. Oh, there's the buzzer. That's the Korean War. And it was Dewey defeats Truman was the famous incorrect headline. And Union Pines now up to 220. They did well with name game as well. All right, we would like to, Triple S now has Lee playing. Let's welcome Lee to the game. Lee, how you doing? All right. President for you folks, Lyndon Johnson. All right, here comes name game. Johnson became president when this man was assassinated.
JFK.
That's right. He appointed this first African American on the Supreme Court.
Pass.
America was involved in this war during his presidency.
Vietnam War.
That's right. Johnson pushed for this historic 1964 law.
Pass.
Slogan used to describe his vision of social programs. All right. The Supreme Court guy was Thurgood Marshall. The law was the Civil Rights Act. And the social program, Great Society. But Smithfield Selma sitting on the board now. We feel good about them. Triple S has done just fine with their name game effort. All right. Brain Game Crunching Numbers takes us inside our team's math classes and gives them a chance to show off their considerable numeric prowess. I've got 5 math questions for the students to calculate. Each is worth 20 points, plus or minus, and that toss-up is a factor. Answers they seek this morning: a square and a square root, a data set that has a nice little ring to it, and we'll try out some trigonometry in search of an integer. 5 20-point math questions, and that toss-up counts. Human calculators, here we go with crunching numbers. For a square with a diagonal length of the square root of 2, calculate the area of the square. That is Broughton High.
1.
1 is right, Myra. Determine the integer between 22 sine of 7 pi over 6 and 3i squared. Say that 10 times. Anybody on that one? -10 is the answer we're looking for. 5, 10. Calculate the next term of this geometric sequence. Smithfield Selma.
15.
Toss up to Union Broughton.
20.
20 is right, Myra. If 2 letters from the word brain are selected without replacement, compute the probability that the letters are both consonants. That is Union Pines.
3/5.
That's a toss-up. Broughton or Smithfield Selma, want to try that? Answer we're looking for there, 3/10. All right, final math question. It's not unusual. Give the plain-sounding name for a data set with a bell-shaped distribution. That is Smithfield Selma.
Parabola.
Toss up, Broughton.
Normal curve.
Normal is correct, Wyatt. All right, good job on math there. Brain Game Rocket Science puts our players' scientific skills front and center at this point each Saturday morning. These are 10 questions scoring 20 points each, positive or negative. A wrong answer turns that question into a toss-up that one of the teams can ring in an answer. Among this morning's items to consider. So it turns out that really is brain surgery. Dig deep enough and you'll pass this boundary, and they're not precipitation, but they do come from a cloud. 10 scientifically compounded questions worth 20 points each, positive or negative, and there is that toss-up. So rocket scientists, here we go. A screw is a combination of what 2 simple machines? That is Smithfield Selma.
Incline plane and wedge.
That's a toss-up, Union Pines or Broughton. Want to try that? Nobody chiming in? You're going the right direction. Incline plane, wheel, and axle. All right, next one. BCS theory is one of the systems for explaining what device, shown here, that has no resistance to electrical current. That's Broughton.
Superconductor.
Superconductor is right. This is a brain using what imaging technique that aligns nuclear moments using powerful magnets? That's Union Pines.
MRI.
MRI is right over there, Aaron. What boundary is found about 32 kilometers underground and separates the crust and the mantle of the Earth? It's named for a Croatian geologist. If you follow Croatian geologists. Moho discontinuity is the answer. Next one. The earliest of what mammals was Hyracotherium, which evolved into the modern genus Equus? That's Broughton.
Horses.
Horses is correct, Myra. What chemical technique's name means to determine a standard, but is most commonly seen in high school using acids and bases? That's Broughton.
Titration.
That is it. You have it. Next one. Get a dominant gene from mom and a recessive gene from dad, and you'll get what genetic label? Smithfield Selma.
Heterozygous.
That is correct. Swim deep enough in the ocean, and you'll find what boundary between regions of water with different temperatures? Hopefully no sharks in there. Answer there is thermocline. Next one. The rarest element in what family is the recently discovered Ununoctium, element 118? Nobody on that one? Sounds like an Eskimo. Noble gases. And last rocket science, short period and long period are the two groups of these icy bodies that originate in the Oort cloud. What are they? It's like singing Oort cloud sometimes. Union Pines?
Comet.
Comet is correct, Aaron. All right. Now, what can our teams tell us about Afghanistan, Luxembourg, and Panama? We will find out when we go globetrotting after the break. You are watching Brain Game round number 6. Please stay tuned. Brain Game Globetrotting pulls our final 10 questions from the countries of Afghanistan, Luxembourg, and Panama on this Saturday morning. Questions 1 through 9 are worth 20 points each, and the toss-up is in effect. The 10th and final question can be worth from 0 to 100 points, and the teams will determine that value themselves in our next break. All right, so again, we're going to Afghanistan, Luxembourg, and Panama. Let's trot globally, everybody. Here we go. Afghanistan and Pakistan share what mountain range with its highest peak, Tiricmir? That is Broughton.
Hindu Kush.
That is exactly right on Vida. What country borders Luxembourg to the south? Broughton High.
France.
France is right. What country borders Panama to the east? That is Broughton.
Colombia.
Colombia is correct. In March of 2001, the Taliban deemed them un-Islamic and destroyed what 6th century monuments that stood more than 100 feet tall? That's Broughton.
Statues of Buddha.
That is correct. Similar to blue and red states in the U.S. That is Union Pines.
Panama.
Rest of the question reads, what do the stars and quarters of Panama's flag stand for? And that's a toss-up. If the other two want to take a stab at that. They're on their buzzers, but not depressing them. Those stand for political parties. And we are on to the next question now. In what capital city would you find the District of Balboa? That's Smithfield Selma.
Panama City.
That is correct. Who is the head of state of the Grand Duchy of Luxembourg? That is Broughton.
Henry.
Yeah, we got it over there. He's the dude, yes. Afghanistan's economy relies heavily on the drug trade. It supplies the world with more than 90%. Smithfield Selma?
Opium.
Opium is correct, Christian, over there. Number 9 here. A significant portion of Panama's GDP comes from tolls placed on what conduit? That is Broughton High.
The Panama Canal.
That is the one, Wyatt. All right. Students have one more question they'll work on during our break that can earn them extra credit. We'll show everyone at home that question, and you'll hear their answers and how much extra credit they'll earn when Brain Game continues in just a moment. All right, during the break, teams determined how many extra credit points to risk, and they answered this question. The Battle of the Bulge took place in what hilly, wooded region of Luxembourg and Belgium? Let's go over to our teams. Smithfield Selma, tell us your answer.
Dykirch.
That was incorrect. They risked 40 points. Hey, everybody, Triple S did a good job today, didn't they? Let's back them up. Good job. Way to come out. All right. Now, let's move over to Union Pines. Tell us your answer.
We did not have an answer.
That's all right, Clayton, but you said that very politely, and I like that. Okay. That, of course, is incorrect. You risked 100 points. That brings Union Pines' game total to 120. Good game by the long sleevers from Union Pines. All right. Broughton, tell us your answer.
Earthling.
That was also incorrect. You risked 100 points, but that brings their game total to 560. The correct answer, the Ardennes. But with 560, taking the day, Broughton High, everybody. How about that? Ardennes it is. Broughton High qualifies for a return trip in February for Brain Game quarterfinal playoffs. That's next Saturday morning at 11 a.m. with Athens Drive High, Southern Lee County High School, and Wake Forest High School. We'll be here for round number 7 of Brain Game. Check WRAL.com, search Brain Game matchup scores and more, and we'll see you next Saturday morning at 11 a.m. for Brain Game, the smartest 30 minutes on TV. Join us then, won't you, everybody?